Hey guys, this is Mike with Faithful Farm with another tutorial video. Today we're going to do some planting. Again, I'm in Rhode Island, Zone 6. I just looked it up. Our last frost date for this year is May 11th through May 20th. So a lot of these plants that we're planting, I'm going to be doing some herbs, some thyme, parsley, oregano. Then I'm also going to be doing a lot of different peppers and some shallots and onions. And all these take time to germinate, and since they are warm season crops, you don't get them out into the garden outside until the soil temperatures are around 50-55 degrees. Otherwise they're just going to sit out there and not thrive. They like hot days and some warm soil temperatures. So to get an early start, I start my seeds indoors in these cells. Check out my other video. I showed you how I made my starting mix and explain kind of what all these cells are and how to pack them and get them ready for planting. This year I'm doing some little different. I usually use these 6 cells, but this year I'm going to use these 4 for my onions and shallots, which I overseed, as well as the herbs, and I'll show you what I mean when I do those. So again, quickly, I'm going to show you how to just pack the seed again. This is the 4 cell. I'll do it with one hand again. So you fill it up once, then you pack it down. And then you just fill it up one more time to the top. That is perfect for the seedlings, and they actually could stay in here until they go outside because they're bigger cells. So these right here, these 6 are 4, and those over there are 6 cells, which I'll do peppers and the herbs. First we'll start, let me see how I can figure this out. We'll do shallots. I get my seeds from Johnny Seeds for the most part. Get these at Home Depot. They were sold out at Johnny Seeds, so I waited too long to buy them. But you know what we'll do? We'll do the yellow onions first, because you can see them. They kind of have a silvery seed. So let me open this. Bear with me. Put the camera down. So these are the yellow onion seeds. They have a silver look to them, so when you plant them, they're actually really easy. The big seeds. Try to figure this out here with one hand. So to plant these, I overseed. So instead of just planting 1-2 seeds in here, you plant a good amount. Probably 10 to 15 to 20 in each cell. Don't worry if they're close together, you'll just spread them out. Onions are actually pretty amazing. You could overseed a good amount and they will grow. They're very sturdy and they're pretty much indestructible. They have very thick, long roots. Just get a pop to the stick here. So with that, you just kind of spread them around and you just mix them in. The packet says 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, doesn't really matter. Some of them will be on top, but you overseed, so you'll get plenty of onions. You can plant 1, 2 seeds here if you want, but my family loves onions, so I plant a lot of them. We use them in all our meals, pretty much. And once you do that, you just pack them down. You want good seed soil contact. And if there's a good amount still on top, there's still a little bit right there. You just take a little bit more soil, the seeds starting to mix, and just cover them. Spread it out. And that's it. Simple. Always a label, because you think you're going to remember what goes where, and everything kind of looks the same when they germinate. Onions are different. They're almost look like grass, but everything else kind of looks the same in the beginning, so always label it. I usually use popsicle sticks, but these came when I bought the 4-cell seeds, or 4-cell flats. I just write Cortland yellow and the date that I planted them. And just stick them in there. Usually I would put them in both, but I'll remember that this whole row is yellow onion. Do the same thing with your red. Let me see, I have an open pack here somewhere. These same size, but they're black. They're a little bit harder to see when you plant them, but same concept. Just dump a bunch right on there. It's usually not scattered like this. It's usually a little bit more neat, but doing it one-handed is not as easy as I thought. You can't put too many down, I've learned. And same thing, you scratch them in. Don't have to go crazy with depth. Again, pack it. And this one I'm not going to cover with more seed starting mix, so when they grow, you'll see what I mean, where it doesn't really matter. It's whatever your preference is. I'm not going to do the shallots, save some time. Same thing though. Overseed, I'm going to do these 2 cells with them. So let's go on to, let's do the oregano and the thyme. These are very tiny seeds. Let me just put the camera down for a quick second. Tiny. So you just focus on that. It's probably over 100 seeds in there, easily. Same thing. This I'm going to try to, let me see if I can put this here. I'll explain what I'm doing, it's hard to see. Just taking a pinch of seeds and just going over each cell and just spreading them all in there. I'm going to use this whole pack. scatter them over. You're going to see tiny. These take good amount of time to germinate. Very small, very slow. That's why you start them indoors, so when the warmer weather comes, you don't plant them directly and you're waiting. You already have a head start. Same thing. Scratch them very lightly. I wouldn't go too deep with these. Would be a little bit more careful with these smaller seeds. I believe, not 100%, that they need light. They like to have light directly on them to help germination. So I just lightly scratch them in and then I just pat them down. Don't cover these. And I forgot to label that one. So those are the red onions. And I have an oregano one somewhere here. Thyme is the same thing. I'm actually going to skip the thyme. Same seeds look very similar. Same thing, just overseed it, scratch it in a little bit, pat it down. They do require a little bit of light, I believe. So just leave as is after you scratch them in. Parsley, I'm going to try something different with the parsley this year. I have an open one somewhere. Where is it? These are all seeds that I grow. Yep. So you can kind of see them in the packet. Bigger seed. Another reason why you overseed or you plant one that's not just one seed, especially when we get to the peppers, I'll show you, because you don't want to just wait around for that one seed. So I usually plant 2 peppers. You could even do 3. Wait till they grow a little bit, then thin them out, so you're guaranteed good germination. So with the parsley, usually I would plant like 4 seeds in each, but I'm going to try this year and overseed it also. So let me set this up again. So I'll just explain again what I'm doing. Probably I'm gonna go like probably 6 to 8 seeds per. Cell. And then again, where did I put my popsicle stick? Scratch these in. These could be more lenient, more flexible with the depth. Parsley actually grows quicker, so these I am starting a little bit early. They're not going to go outside. These I'm going to keep for indoor use. Try them by a windowsill. I'll show you my grow station with all my grow lights, because these all get artificial light until it's warmer out, and then I acclimate them to the outside. So I got parsley here. Again, just parsley. Make sure you write the date. Then also quickly what I do is I keep a record journal. I have all from, I had since 2016. That's garlic. I didn't do garlic this year. Garlic you plant over winter. Probably plant them around November. Plant the clove directly in there, and then harvest in like June, July. But I just write down just to keep keep track of every year and how good, if I had a good year or a bad year, and what I could do differently each and every year. So that's the parsley. Thyme won't waste time with the thyme. Same as the oregano. Peppers, I'll only do a few of them. They're all the same, so whatever peppers you do use or you do want to grow, you could follow just a few ones that I'm going to show you today. Let's do cayenne peppers. This year I'm also going to save seeds, so I'll show you how I do that. And I'm going to grow more transplants and sell them, because I believe that everybody should have their own little garden, help the world out a little bit, reduce pesticide use. So these I'm going to do half and half. So I'm going to do 3 on this side and 3 of a different pepper on this side. So with these, this is a little bit easier. There's multiple ways you could do this. Let me just show you. You could poke holes. Again, the depth doesn't really matter. 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Doesn't really matter. I do 2 seeds. And then you could just put 1 seed in each hole. And then just cover it up. I think that wastes time. What I do is I just put 1 seed there, put 1 seed there, and just press them in. Boom. And that's that. That's the, let me see, cayenne. If you do multiple, like I'm doing the cayenne here, then I'll do another hot pepper, pepperoncinis next to it. Definitely make sure you label it, because you will get confused. I'll do those after. Same thing. I'll do these orange peppers. Again, you can buy seeds on Depot, Lowe's, any gardening center. You tend to get typical varieties every year. They have the same stuff. That's why I like to go to Johnny's Seeds. Get a whole variety, different stuff. And that's why I like starting seeds, because you can try a bunch of different stuff. So I'll put these back here again. Easy to plant. Tomatoes too. We'll do tomatoes probably in a couple weeks. I really like these orange peppers, so I'm going to do an entire cell worth. And I need one more. Doesn't have to be perfect. What you could do is when they germinate, when you're ready to transplant them, you could either just thin them out to 1 and transplant them like that, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them right down the center, and so I'll have 12 total plants. We grow a lot of peppers here. And those were the orange. Again, label, key. And that's how I start my seeds. Pretty simple. So again, we got yellow onions, red onions, that will be shallots, all overseed, 10, 20, 25 seeds per cell. When they start growing, I'll keep you updated and just show you how well they grow when they're close together. And you can plant these pretty much all over your garden. The yellow onions, again, I covered with more soil, buried them. The red onions, we're going to do a little experiment together. Didn't cover them, I scratched them in, but I didn't cover them again. Oregano and thyme, same thing. Overseed, 8, 10, 15 seeds per. Parsley, I usually do 4. This time I did 6 to 8. I'm going to try the overseeding method with those, see how it works out. And then peppers, tomatoes, when we do them, 2 seeds, 3 if you want. Alright, so once you have everything planted, you're all set. I planted everything on my peppers. I moved my herbs to the other flat that I have already growing in my grow closet, and then my onions. What you want to do after you're done planting is to water. Now, personally, I like to bottom water, which means you have the flat, which is these bottom trays, and the cells that go into the tray. You simply just take out one of these, one of the cells, get some water, and just fill the bottom up, maybe like a quarter way, third of the way, depending on how dry they are. That was probably a little bit too much because these were already pre-moistened, but just to show you. Then you simply put it back in, and then what happens is, since the starting mix is already moist, it's going to seep up from the bottom, and it's going to water all the way from the bottom to the top. When you water, a lot of people overwater, which is actually worse than underwatering, in my opinion. You can get root rot and cause a whole bunch of problems. You actually want the tops of all these, it's going to be all staggered, but once a good amount of these are dry, as in, you'll be able to see the difference between dry mix and the wet mix. When the tops become a light brown, that's the indicator of when you want to bottom water. The reason why I bottom water is, and I don't water on the top, time. Save so much time. You just pull one out, pour the water, wait 30 minutes to an hour. Whatever doesn't get absorbed, just dump out. You don't want to leave water just sitting in the bottom consistently. It will just cause problems in the long run. So, hour, 2 hours tops, I would say. If you're around, not overnight or 24 hours, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you're out and you water and then you come back 6 whatever hour, I've done it before and I've been fine. But whatever's excess in there, just dump out. And to dump it out, you could either just take all the cells out and then just dump it. I dump mine in the toilet and just flush it, or you just take one out and then dump it, but then everything tends to kind of fall. So it's a little bit more time. I tend to take everything out, put it on the towel, dump it, and then put everything back in. So do not overwater. When I'll do a quick video of when these all dry out, and I'll show you what they look like in water again. Peppers take 2 to 3 weeks to germinate, depending on the temperature. The herbs take a while. The onions are actually pretty quick. They'll be the first ones to pop. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, again, 2 seeds in each for the peppers, overseed for the herbs, and the onions and the shallots. Water when it looks like this. Don't overwater. Don't leave the water standing at the bottom. And that's it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, ask questions below, and we'll see you next time. God bless.